Yours up there, guys, it's Immersive Gamer 83 and thank you very much for stopping by. Today I want to talk about a game on Steam. It's early access and it's called Storm United. The actual game itself looks pretty decent, however it is a complete graveyard at the moment. It's very early access. It's quite polished considering it's been out coming up for 7 months now. It's April 2015 the game came out, and the thing that really interested me about this game though is inside the actual files themselves. So if we have a look in Storm United, and then we've got like a few different folders here. So we've got binaries and all this good stuff here. Have a look in plugins, we've got runtime, and there's reference to Oculus input, Oculus library and Oculus Rift, and you know, there's not a lot inside these files at the moment, but there appears to be leftover code that's not been removed yet. I don't know if they've got any plans to implement like proper support, but what's even more interesting is when you start the game with the Rift attached. So I'm just going to double check to make sure that my Rift is attached. One moment. Okay, so it's attached and ready. Let's start the game. Okay, so the game hooks to a flat screen monitor initially, but then as the game actually catches, it boots to the Rift. So it loads in stereo. Press any key to acknowledge. I am going to put my head forward and press the spacebar. Okay, so that has now loaded in full stereo 3D. Things appear to be fully 3D. It looks rather nice. The menu, however, is not supported. So as you can see, my cursor on the screen, it kind of goes between both eyes. We don't have a VR mouse yet, and we don't have VR icons, but we can kind of just about navigate our way by looking at the monitor now, the mirror, over to here. This is not got a VR HUD either, so they've done no work with the HUD either, but we can just about make our way through by looking at the monitor. And as you can see, the mouse doesn't actually match up to what I'm clicking on, so I'm just looking by the highlighted icons. So let's have a look at this one. So click on there. There's all kinds of stuff on here, so let's have a look. We'll click on the server and join server. If I can get it to work, there we go. So this screen also is not loading in stereo, but when we go into the actual game, the game should load up momentarily, and it appears to be stereo 3D, which is rather interesting. So in a moment this should load in, and there's going to be no one here. The game's a graveyard, but as you can see, it looks rather nice. So as I say, the menus are not VR, so we can spectate, and we can actually play. So let's just click on, we'll click on play, and as you can see, I can look around. It's got head tracking, so I'm looking around with the Rift and I'm able to view all of these cool things in stereo. So let's have a look. I'm going to click on some loadouts. Maybe that one, maybe that one, maybe that one, and down here maybe. Okay, so waiting to start. So now this looks rather nice, and it's actually hooked, and I've loaded in the game. I've got full positional tracking, and it looks awesome. So there's some menus on the desktop which are obviously not made for me to be seen in VR, but I can actually walk around with rudimentary virtual reality support, and this is rather interesting. These environments look splendid. So the game currently hooks with the Oculus runtime. The arms of my bloke look tiny. I look like a 5-year-old, but the fact is the VR support looks lovely.